Hello! My name is Cox, and welcome to the vlog of, this is session number 14, I think. Yes, that's right, 14. Yes. So we're here with the players, and they're about to come into the alien world, but we're gonna talk about that later. Oh, spoilers. So, yes, so who would like to go first? Anyone?
Oh my god, I can't.
So cute.
David Cox.
First of all, I had so much fun. We all dressed up and stuff. Hallie has that awesome freaking fire
Yeah.
for
Yes.
The thingy, yeah.
So
Yay.
scary. Oh no way.
It was
What do
fun.
we call it? Helisair instead of
Helisair.
Yeah.
Helisair.
There it is.
But
Okay,
not
so-
anymore, right? But we're jumping
Well,
ahead.
no. Well, yeah, that's a spoiler.
I mean, you can go however order you want. You don't have to go in chronologically unless you want to.
Oh,
Sure.
I was happy that I got to say goodbye to my land in a good way. Create the darkness, bring in the light, bringing balance.
Yeah.
I got wings again. I'm wondering if I can just make those appear anytime.
I don't know. Like so far, it seems to be like when you're being really passionate
Right.
and super
Restoring
Avar.
balance.
Super Saiyan Avar.
There you go.
Oh gosh.
Kenna starts going, ah!
She keeps
You're
doing
not
it
even
through
ready
three
for my
commercial
final
breaks.
form.
You did a mini Kamehameha, so...
Aww.
She'll keep going right through the commercial break. She'll still be yelling.
Yeah, will she ever finish this power up?
It was a
Okay.
it was a
You-
big feels session.
Yeah.
Which, just saying, we've had a lot of those, but this is big.
Yeah, just another session.
I mean, poor Kenna was like being ripped apart the whole session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hard because you pretty much had to figure out where Kenna's loyalty really lies. Like, choosing between you guys and family and even the wishes of her own mother.
That one. Oh my gosh.
How are you supposed to choose? And
Yeah. I do not envy Kenna that decision at all.
I'm amazed that she chose us.
I'm amazed too.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary. I mean, I didn't see it as. I thought she was choosing, like, her. I don't know. I felt like the way they were doing it, it was very selfish. They wanted to bring them back because they wanted them back, not necessarily that they should be back. It wasn't the way of the natural world, and I think in that way, Kenna was choosing the Avar way. And that's sort of,
But I do
I
think
didn't.
But I do think that it's probably safe to say there are many Avar clans who probably feel passionate about taking their land back if the opportunity arises. I think that's a very believable thing. I mean, again,
Totally.
In real life, look what we did to the Native American Indians. Look what we did to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I was a Native American living on those, reservations,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, I kind of want my land back.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. I mean, she definitely wants the Avar to play a bigger role, but I don't think she wants to take it that way. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
it didn't work out for them every single time that they've ever tried to do
But it
it.
makes sense for Ari. That makes a lot of sense for Ari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, there's got to be a better way than violence and judgment and hate. And I think she feels that she's making a big enough difference that if she could, she would do it peacefully and she would earn it. I don't think she wouldn't. I don't know. I feel like if we were to do it that way, it just proves every stereotype that the lowlanders think about the Avar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what she's trying to prove wrong, is that they're better than that.
Right.
And it was really frustrating that they didn't see that.
How did Kenna feel about the fact that their mom told them her plan and not her?
Right.
Oh, that one was, yeah. Especially when we ended it and you guys started talking, before Hark had said anything, I was thinking back, I'm like, didn't she say, like, bring the F? I'm like, I took a different meaning from that, and I assumed it meant, like, carry on the traditions and be true to what we are, and not let's conquer Ferelden and take back what was ours.
Right.
Yeah, I chose the wording of that very carefully, because you can interpret it. It can definitely be interpreted in many different ways. Purposely.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but I was like bawling while you guys were talking because I was thinking about that. And I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. And
that was hard.
As far as the brothers are concerned, they're just doing what they're just following their mother's wishes. That's
right.
Yeah, you're their sister, but this is your mom. So you kind of have to understand why they're taking the stand that they're taking.
And I do, and that's why it's so hard. Yeah, it's really hard.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
But I don't know. She's definitely got a few more words for them when things are a little bit less emotional.
Yeah.
I think some big questions are, what are we going to do with those soul gems, by the way?
I know, we totally stole them and nobody's told us on it yet.
I know, I was worried. I was like, wait, when we go back to the vault, did no one notice that there's no more crates in the vault? Like,
I think they're just trying to get to the Mass Effect one.
Right.
That's good.
I think, I feel like they would probably notice when you get back. They'll probably notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be an
Okay,
interesting
bye, Eric.
conversation.
Just push Eric through and then turn it off because we don't want to.
Maybe you're distracted. Maybe you're distracted. You're like distracted. Oh, you know why? Because Eric is so busy.
He's tired.
Yeah. Because Eric has been
meditating on
Halasair, so he wasn't paying attention fully.
That's what I was hoping.
That is how I'm going to explain that. That is how I'll explain that.
So when we get back, we're just gonna push Eric through and then turn it off.
Exactly.
During that whole conversation, I was really debating whether I should bring up the bracers or not.
Oh, yes.
Like, yeah, you got your mom, but I've got the gods on my side.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
But I was like, this isn't the time. This isn't the time.
I could sense you going that way. Like, I heard you going, you started to say something, and then you're like, actually, and then you just kept talking about what you were talking about.
Well,
like,
my question to you, though, Kenna, is... why do you not think that the Avarian gods would not want balance to be restored into the world by bringing the Avar back? Do you really think that that's what they meant? Or do you really think that they wouldn't want you to bring back the Avar in order to bring balance back, since they were killed off and send it to Resurgence? Like, how do you know that's really what the gods want?
That's a really good question.
Seems to me, looking in, I think balance would be going with what your brothers are doing. Seems to me.
To be fair, though, the Avar gods picked her, so
that is true.
So she goes based off of her meaning and what she derived from that.
That is true.
Whenever she dies, they can pick another one and like try to give them better explanation of what they want her to do.
That's true.
But for right now, they picked her, so they should be resting on her judgment.
That is true. Very
they
good point.
picked you, Kenna.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Not to totally answer that for you. So.
No, but I really like that answer.
I like that answer, sure.
I like that answer. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, and I think Hallie would definitely side with Cedric on that point, because if we're supposed to be reincarnated souls, when we were able to talk to them, Hallie asked that, like, hey, if you're all wibbly wobbly timey wimey, why does the cycle move forward? So for her, it's the cycle moves forward. That's it.
Yeah, a big thing is that if you kept bringing back the same person, there's no there's no growth in that soul. I get that the souls are reborn, but I mean, you live and you experience and you grow, and then if that soul is not having a chance to be reborn and experience new things, I feel like you make the same mistakes. I don't know.
See, I would make the argument that if you bring someone back, there is growth because you continue from where you left off versus if you are reincarnated, that's a reset button. You start over from the beginning. So there is no growth that way.
But I feel like that's where they get like instinct and like the intuition that comes from their past experiences. And I don't know.
Fair enough.
That's true though. It's tough.
I don't know. I think breaking the line of death is like just destroying all balance between life and death.
I did like when Hark was like, if I died and you brought me back with one of those little spells, like wouldn't you do it? And I'm like,
well,
it's not exactly the same thing though, because I mean. She didn't move on. She was still there, like when I brought her back.
Yeah.
Well, let's be a little bit meta here. If we were to move to, say, Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons, again, it all depends on the universe that the DM creates. But I think the traditional setting, like the traditional D&D standard setting, has true resurrection. Yep, no string attached except for like a component, like a diamond or something that worth 1,000 gold. Like that's the cost. Yep. But other than that, you bring somebody back to life, and I guess in that universe, it's more accepted. Something like that is more accepted. So what are your thoughts on that?
I hate that in D&D.
You hate that. You hate that.
Actually,
I hate it.
I do too.
I hate it because a life should be worth so much more than that, and. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to bring somebody back from the dead in any RPG game, it should have a huge price, like huge, like
right. So if
other people will die for it.
So if you were to DMing a campaign, you would probably make the resurrection spells off limits.
I didn't last time, and I would from now on because they resurrected somebody, and I was just like, because it totally takes away from the death. Like the power of the death.
Right. I agree with you in part. Being all about the character development and the story myself, I absolutely agree. Having a spell like True Resurrection will cheapen the weight of a death. But that being said, I don't like to say blanket no to anything. So I would probably, make it tremendously rare and like maybe a one-use item. So you really need to make sure this is what's going to happen. Or find some other way to, like if I had a PC whose character death was just another chapter in that story that we had plotted, then I might consider it for that character in that one instance, like as long as it serves the story without cheapening the weight of a character death.
Or introduce an additional price. Introduce homebrew additional price. I think Kevin was trying to say something.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. I was just relating it to Full Metal Alchemist. How like they bring people back with the Philosopher's Stone. You have to sacrifice like 1,000 people or something.
Yep. Yeah, it should be a huge price like that. Like I mean, I don't think the Tevinters can even do it, and they don't mind sacrificing like 1,000 slaves. So, they would do that easy peasy if that was the choice.
Right.
Oh man.
So
can you imagine if the Tevinters could resurrect each other?
No. I'm sure that's not on the docket.
So this is one of the last. I think there's one more after this. So one of the last major world-changing decisions that the group is going to influence, because again, I mentioned Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. This determines whether or not a true resurrection spell would exist in this universe. It determines that. So, because if it does, then that changes things completely moving forward, as you can imagine. Just like the previous season's decision on whether or not we should destroy the time traveling spell, the time traveling ritual at the end of that. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should destroy it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I say
me
we release the souls and destroy the empty ones. Just be done.
Well, I mean, they could make more, couldn't they?
Yeah, I don't know how they make them, but those souls would at least be free, right? But we'd have to get rid of their research too. It'd be very hard to get rid of it all. But
We could find a way.
we could try. Oh man. I don't like that they kept saying how did they put it? It's without cost.
Yeah.
I think they said
That's
that
what they said.
really bothered. That was the thing that bugged me the most. It's like there's no such thing as no cost. Like that's
Yes.
insane. You don't get nothing from something. And you don't get something from nothing. So that was the thing that bothered me the most. I was like, there's no way. Like you might not even see the price, but there is a
Right.
price.
I
It's
think-
gonna be big.
Well, I think in their minds, it's a difference between killing 1,000 people versus a diamond worth 1,000 gold. Like, I think that's what they
Sure.
meant. Like, slay 1,000 people or 1,000 gold. Like, hey, if we can find something that only requires 1,000 gold, sure, why not?
Right.
Is what they were saying. Sure, why not? It's just a
Yeah,
bauble.
it's just money,
It's
but
just money.
I don't think
Right.
that that's the sort of thing that it's. I don't think that's the kind of price it's going to be. I feel like in
Fair
order
enough.
to be a resurrection, it's going to be like crazy high, and like
Well, I mean,
this is like some Golden to Black City stuff. Like this is big.
Oh yeah,
So-
this is huge.
Yeah. I mean, the whole time I was just thinking about what had been going on with Cedric. I mean, he's got this duality conflict of, his previous,
Mhm.
the body and then the soul. And it's like, if he's forever going to be conflicted, battling who he is now. I mean, they can try to perfect it, whatever, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's
How
not
many
right.
people's lives are going to be destroyed before they
Mhm.
perfect it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they going to get their memories back? Are they going to be that person? Do you want to live inside another body? Is it enough to be you in a different body? Or is
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
body who you are?
Right. Fun times.
Very.
There. And Razakale had some fantastic points when she was talking to the
The-
group. That is
That's a good word.
tremendously hypocritical of us.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, out of character, I did have a point that I'd wanted Hallie to make, but she's kind of been a little on the more and more cracked side as we've been going along.
I like
Mhm.
that.
Fun times.
I did like that about this session is it seemed that the NPCs had an opportunity to voice their differing opinions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Razakale seemed to be okay with it. I think that Violetta seemed okay with researching this thing if they truly
Yep.
could get perfection. Connor, I'm pretty sure he didn't say anything, but I don't think he thinks this is a good idea because Connor's a very Boy Scout like that, which I love him. I love him for that. I don't think Owlette would have any problem with this. And Esbjorn, I think Esbjorn, the bear at least, Esbjorn the bear would want to take the land back. Personally. Esbjorn is like,
Well, yeah, think of all the extra fish he could get.
exactly, screw the lowlanders. It's like, screw
Right.
it. Esbjorn,
Territory. Yeah.
Keta
Fair.
wants the land back, but she doesn't want to take it the way they were talking about taking it.
Mhm.
Hugh-
wants to do
Is
it
it
right.
really necessary to take it violently right now anyway? Like
No,
Ferelden's
don't think-
empty.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going, well, yes, you have a point. If they're going to, now is the best time because they're weak.
Yeah.
They're very weak.
Yeah. Yeah, Ferelden's got New Denerim, and that's like it right now, right?
That's
Yeah, but I mean, they wouldn't be able to hold it. Eventually, people are going to rebuild. Eventually, someone, Orlais, to
Right.
Winter, the free marches, they're going to be like,
Well,
the Avar took control. Let's
if,
okay.
if they succeed in their plan and they resurrect all these Avar, like you immediately have these Avar, they can
That's
hold
true.
it. It's very possible that depending on your choices, it's very possible that the Avarians could take Ferelden back. And that'll be the
That-
Varian nation. There won't be a Ferelden nation, it'll be the Varian nation.
That feels like you'd be like begging for another Exalted March. Like that's
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's-
I feel like
that's
that would
why-
just be history repeating itself.
Mhm, mhm.
And
yeah,
then
we took it. Okay, now the Chantry is gonna go get you because
Yeah, yeah.
there's got to be a better way to earn respect and to gain
Yeah.
Mhm.
more respect from the people. And that means I feel like there's got to be a way. I mean, with us, like in all we've got our like fingers in all the political pots right now.
Yeah.
Nah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we do.
you're talking about Cain having his hands in all these pots. You guys have your hands in a lot of pots.
We're in everything.
We're in everything. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think you're right. But your brothers don't understand how much power Kenna has right now.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Like, if you talk to them about some of your friends, which are like kings and stuff, they might be like, all right, maybe we could figure it out a different way.
Yeah, like I said, there's definitely more talking to do.
Yes.
Especially
by
worrying.
the way, I saved King Kine and stuff, but no big deal. No big deal.
Right,
What's especially worrying is if we did let them finish the research and like they brought back all these Avar, who was sponsoring this research? The King of
Indeed.
Navarra.
Yeah.
So Navarra is also going to have this
Mhm.
this power.
Yeah,
Mhm.
why
So-
why is Navarra so interested in bringing back?
Well, I mean, they don't like a lot of
Well,
people.
History
I
lesson.
know they're angry.
Well, I mean, I get
History lesson, just to answer Kenna's question, and I think Cedric knows this. King Marcus, at this point in time, is very sickly. The man is on the verge of death. So
same.
there might be some personal incentive.
This is exactly what
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So just
people just trying to live forever. It's just,
Mhm.
and then you get the bad people who, like the Archon into Winter, maybe.
Oh, if he found out that this was happening, he'd be
It's
all
just-
over it.
Yeah,
He'd be all over it.
Yeah.
it's just like the airships. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
airships. You can
We've
do
got
things
to stop
for-
the airships. Oh no, I don't even want to talk about the airships. No.
Yeah.
this is-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now the superpowers are Orlais and Tevinter.
Mhm.
Ferelden is down. Navarra is trying to rise up. I think if anyone can be the next superpower, it could be Navarra. So there's this very political who's going to have the upper edge. So yeah, you have the airships and you have this resurrection
And then-
spell, which is
And
going
then
to be
there's the
very
Qun
powerful.
too.
I'm sorry?
We could.
And then there's the Qun
There's
too.
also the Qun.
Yeah.
And they weren't touched by the blight.
Nope, they were not. So
So
Oh,
Yeah, my vote's for them.
just saying, like I don't. What are they gonna do when they find out that there are mages down south that are erasing death?
hmm Oh yeah.
Like
They'll just
Navarro will burn.
fix it.
season 3.
Good luck,
Have fun,
season 3.
We're sorry we broke the world just like Hawk. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope that's not our ending.
yeah, well I mean
We did
I
our
think it
best. Sorry.
So do you think
The eternal souls fail again.
So do you think that having a resurrection spell is different from going back in time before the blight killed all these people and prevented the blight from happening so those people didn't die and now they're alive, even though they were dead? But now
I
you're going
do.
back in time. You think it's different. Okay.
I do think it's different. Because if you go back in time, I don't think we should go back in time, but if it could have
Yeah.
been like erased as if it had never happened, I think that should have been done. If you could have.
Right.
Because the reason that all that bad stuff happened was someone messed with time in the first place.
But remember
Right.
that originally the fifth blight wasn't supposed to happen. Therefore,
right.
all these people who died in the fifth blight aren't supposed to be dead. So if you really want to go back to the way things were supposed to be, these people who died in the blight are supposed to be alive now. Hence why they're trying to fix it with this resurrection
Well,
spell.
Yeah. but
then
this
and then you got to
resurrection-
reboot everybody, and they're not
Yeah.
going to do that.
That's true.
They're
Mhm.
they're not going to reboot everybody. They're just going to reboot who makes them more powerful. It's
Yeah.
a hypocrisy.
That's a very
Yes.
good point.
And then, even if this resurrection, who decides who gets to get resurrected and who doesn't?
That's a
Do
very
the
good
poor
question.
families?
Mhm.
Do the
That's
poor
what-
families get to resurrect, or is it
Probably
just
not.
rich nobles? I feel like
Mhm.
if this were to happen, people, it would
be hugely expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just another way to segregate. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Like,
Kevin. Go ahead.
That's what Cedric was trying to say. He was like, "Why do we get to play Maker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why? Who picked us to play this role?"
Yep. 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 Man. Oh, there's so much good talk this session. I'm so like,
Yeah.
oh my god, there's so much happening.
It's a
And the party was fighting too, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah, there's a lot of party fighting.
Yeah, I'm only bringing up these challenges just because I'm playing devil's advocate, because
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yes, and at the end of the day, you all can tell yourselves there's a right and wrong answer, but
Mhm.
I think there's something to be said by some of the devil's advocate points. So
I think it's a
Absolutely.
big gray area. This whole game has been one big gray area.
Yeah, that's the problem with it.
Oh, the dwarves aren't connected to the Fade. All right, well.
We'll leave the dwarves because they're not connected to the Fade. I do think, Resurrection's scary for
Yeah.
the world. The world state that we're going to be leaving, that's going to be a bad one.
yeah, just drop that. Have fun.
And airships is going to be bad too.
Yeah, that's gonna be real bad.
Tevinter has airships. The first thing they're doing is going against the Kuhn,
Haha.
which means World War. That's what's going to happen.
I welcome our new Kuhn masters.
Oh no, I don't. I'm Talbot off. They're just gonna axe me.
You can be retaught somehow in some reality, I'm sure.
No, I'm a mage. I'm dead
In some reality.
in some reality.
I'm pleased that you guys feel challenged, because I've been trying to put you in these situations where at face value, you'd be like, why wouldn't I choose my family? Why wouldn't I do what my mother tells me? Why would I, why am I outright attacking this poor elf in a wheelchair? It's like so as opposed to her slave and master, so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I love that
I
so
love
much.
it too.
I love that we were butting heads too.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like
It's
that
For-
was that was really
first
fun.
it
We
was
were
Holister
starting to
versus
get a little
Cedric.
bit too buddy-buddy. It was a little too much friendship.
Yeah, we agree with everybody. We agree.
Yeah, we fixed
we
it.
love everyone.
Yeah, because first it was Cedric and Halisair going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the whole trusting Violetta thing has just been this constant,
Yeah.
under,
It's
know.
for Andrea. It's not that she doesn't trust Violetta. It's we promised to give it back, and that's the only reason we have it in the first place. And I
Yep.
don't trust that Violetta is just going to give it back.
Yeah,
I
the funny
don't
thing is
trust
when we
that.
signed her on, Halisair took her aside and said, "You turn against my peeps, I kill you. Do we understand each other?" And yes, we understood each other. So it's interesting to me that there is this giant turnaround, and now Crazy Hallie is the one going, "No, you're gonna leave her alone."
May I ask then
Yeah.
why Hallie decided to take the eye off of
Yeah.
It was a weird gut feeling.
Okay.
Like
Or do you not want to
she
say?
doesn't.
You don't have to say.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I think pretty much all of her secrets are out in the open now.
She did just help you. She did just help cure
Yes.
you. Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. But she doesn't understand magic, and she doesn't understand the spirit world. So when Mafarath, by the way, leaves her, and the two people performing the ritual splat off to the sides, she was a little suspicious that maybe he jumped ship and went into one of them. So she pulled the eye just in case Mafarath woke up or took over Violetta, so that Mafarath does not have the eye. If
Yes.
Violetta turns out to be hunky-dory, she will give the eye back until such time as they can renegotiate times and places and stuff with Lealden.
Mm-hmm.
She was 100% honest in that she is going to return that artifact to Lealden, like it or not.
Well, I believe that you believe that. I just feel like Violetta
Yes.
maybe doesn't believe that.
Yeah.
Maybe
She might
Violetta's
not.
like, I'm gonna keep this. Like, just
She can try.
That's why I was like, no. She's coming with us on this next mission because we leave her with her people so that they can go down. It's like a 2 or 3 day trip down to wherever. It's gone.
Oops, I misplaced the
It might be.
eye. Whoops.
It might be.
Okay, so Cedric believes that she would have just hightailed it, and
Well, I mean, like she could have been like, oh yeah, let me use the. Oh, it's gone. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah.
Not being near us. She could have put it anywhere, done anything with it.
Does Kevin believe that Violetta would have done that? Does Kevin believe that?
Nah, I kind of like Violetta, like out of character.
Yeah. Okay, you don't think she would betray you guys like that?
No. But Cedric is a very suspicious kind of character.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Understandable.
I mean,
Andrea is the same way because Andrea is a liar, so she just assumes other people are too.
Right.
Yeah.
She's been
Cedric
pretty
wasn't
good at
against
being
using
honest
the
with
eye.
you guys, but other people not so much.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where Theobin would have
I
sided with.
know. It kills me that she had to
Yeah.
miss this session.
Yeah. I don't know. My prediction. What do you guys think? Would you think Theobin would have leaned
I
towards?
think he would
I
have
think
tried
Hannah.
Hallie.
I think would have been
Yeah.
Would have been.
For the first
I
one,
think-
for Violetta, I think he would have sided with Violetta.
Okay.
Yes,
That's my guess.
I think so
I
too.
don't know.
No?
I think Thea would have sided with Cedric.
Huh.
Because I mean,
Maybe,
he is.
but-
I don't know. I can't remember. I thought Theo's been kind of cautious around Violetta. I can't remember.
He doesn't talk in front of her because I yelled at him one session. Sorry, Theo.
Oh,
Love you
yeah.
lots. But he hasn't really talked to her since then.
And it's not that Cedric didn't want to use the eye. It's just he felt more comfortable that he was
Being in
like,
control of
that
it.
he
Being
was
him in
holding
control,
on.
in possession of it.
So, yeah.
While Hallie was losing it at Kenna's brothers,
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
pushing-
know
I
if you
was-
were able to hear, but my little girl cat doesn't hear me yell. I don't yell. So she was sitting right next to me freaking out. So you might hear some meowing in the
That's
in the
fine.
background.
Yeah, that was when everyone was starting to gang up around them.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, it's about to go down. Here we go. Here we
I
go."
know, when
is
Cedric
the moment.
pushed you, I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
And I pushed him back. I was
jeez.
like, "This is it. Here we go. Throw down. I beat you once. I'll beat you again. Get back."
Oh.
Well,
I was
to be
getting
fair-
ready to say it. I was getting ready to say it. I'm like, "Oh, but he's no."
Cedric didn't have his weapon drawn.
Hmm.
If he really meant business, he would have had at least his axe drawn.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. I'm like,
But-
he's just being angry. But I was like, is Kenna gonna punch him? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
That
totally.
would have been awesome. How do you think Cedric
If
would have
you-
reacted if Kenna punched you in the face? Or in the nose, maybe?
Actually, at first he wouldn't have done anything. But when she came back to the group and was like, "Look, guys, can we just get along?" He would have been like, "F off!" Like,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
no.
Oh man, that was so hard, guys. Andrea's finally got her little knit group, and then they all started fighting, and she's just trying to hold everybody together.
You were so adorable on that.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable being the calm one.
Yeah,
So
normally
hard.
that's Theobin's job, but Theobin's
Yeah.
Theobin's being his cardboard self right now.
Well, Theobin calls people in, and then he yells at Andrea, and so,
Yeah.
but this time I was like, guys, please, like, calm down.
All I wanted was
yeah.
to know where Trello.
I know.
Yeah, we'll pick that one up.
You'll pick that one
Yeah.
up. You'll pick
We're
that
not gonna leave him alone. We're going after Traliv. Don't worry, buddy.
Oh yeah. I mean, even if we were like, "No, I don't want to," Cedric would be like, "All right, well, I'm going."
Right.
But oh man, and everybody was mad, and Kenna was crying, and we're yelling at Kenna's little brothers who are still just kids. And I was like, no. Can we calm down?
No, we can't calm down.
And Hallie, cut your shit because you got a demon in your chest. So, like...
Yeah, no.
Hallie, cut your shit.
That might have actually taken her back enough that she might have given an extra moment.
It's just begging everybody, please, just help calm these people down for me. Cedric, I need my calm Templar, and he just doesn't even respond. I'm like, oh shoot.
By the way, Andrea's comment about he's my charge. I like that.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's cute.
Cedric didn't even give a shit at that time. He was like, these people are playing with my life, and then now they won't tell me where that son of a bitch is.
Yeah.
I got you, buddy. We'll take care of it.
I wanted to get you to Tralif today, but the time I needed to get you to, because of what's happening next session, I needed to get you guys to this point.
Yep.
So,
Gotcha.
but you'll have your chance.
Out of character, if I had to pick, I would have picked Fix Hallie. Out of character.
You would have picked
to fix Hallie.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, that sounds like a Cedric thing to do. He
No,
always
out
puts
of
himself...
Is it out of character?
Out of character.
Yeah,
Cedric
out of
is not in his
character.
right mind. Ever since
No.
he found out that like all of his memories and stuff are not his, he's not, and it's just, and then Hugh leaving, like he's not been in his right mind. He's like, no, I need something to happen now. Like,
yeah, I'm totally with you.
It took so much willpower for him to not pull a weapon on
The brothers.
Oh man, if that would have happened,
Good that you didn't.
holy moly.
I
We
know.
would have had to roll initiative.
I would have put Cedric in a pit.
You in the pits.
I liked
Dang.
the dynamic between the three siblings during their conversation because
Yeah.
Kenna clearly had a stance, Ari clearly had a stance, Eric was trying to understand both sides and was trying to play mediator, but at the same time, Eric is this kind of son who listens to his mom, and that's why he's standing where he's standing. And
at the same time, he's been with Ari the whole time.
at the same time, he's been with Ari, and Ari's probably been filling his head with a few things too. But I mean, Eric is very opinionated about things. But he wants. The problem is, Eric is the kind of person who wants to please everybody, and that can be dangerous. So that's Eric's weakness. But I like how, at the end, they still were able to hug it out. You know,
Yeah,
like they still,
I was really hoping. I was like,
because your brothers do love you, and they love you so it's unconditional. Like even if you guys are totally against this issue, they still are going to be your brothers, and that's probably going to hurt a lot when Cedric cuts them down. But so
not okay.
I didn't say it.
No, I really love that too. Because I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, I've been waiting for this moment since like forever. I don't want to leave us angry.
And I don't think that you were left angry. They left at a point where
I think this is frustration.
our cards are on the table. We know where each of us stands, and fine, you believe this, fine, you believe that. Let's just all let each other do whatever it is that we're going to do. And just agree to disagree, I think is what Eric was trying to go for. Let's just agree to disagree.
No.
Whether or not the rest of your companions are okay with that is another question. But amongst the siblings, it was nice to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm.
That's gonna be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Warrior high five.
Well, at least the silver lining is it looks like you've checked off Hallie transforming into Mafroth. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's over.
we made progress.
did.
Is her hot dog back to a taco?
Yes, she got her taco back.
That must have felt super weird.
She traded.
Probably.
Yes.
There must have been a sound effect like.
There probably
God.
was during the boom explosion. Yes, there probably was.
Roll here.
Theoben is probably relieved.
Maybe, you
Maybe a
know,
little
maybe
relieved.
I have opened him up to new experiences.
I'm not gonna say anything about that. But okay.
Sam's face.
Yeah, that's why I was giggling too.
Oh man. Yeah. So Hallie's a girl again. That was freaking me. I was so stressed out.
Oh my gosh! When Eric was breathing, I was like, "Damn it!"
I
Yeah.
was getting ready to cry because I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing this to my sister. They're ripping something out of my sister. Everybody's in danger.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Sure.
happy with each other."
Had you, just so you guys know, had you asked Violetta or Eric to break the curse before going to the mines, they would have died.
Had a feeling.
They would have died. That would have killed them. Yes. So you made the right choice.
I
Means we
wouldn't
can
have
take
let-
out, guys.
I don't think I would have let either of them though.
Mhm.
Like even if they're, no, I just wouldn't have. It's too dangerous. It's too much. You never know where that demon's gonna go. It could go right into you. I mean, I know it wasn't technically a demon, but
Yeah.
Right.
it was acting like a demon. It was possessing Hallie.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, while I absolutely understand the need to move the story along, I would have loved to see where else that would have gone now that we know who that is.
Mafarath, yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
cool if Hallie had a conversation with him
You-
about Andra.
Yes.
You had a glimpse of it in the last session.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
and I thought about that too, but I needed to move things along a little bit, and I didn't. And
Of
I
course.
felt that because of the timing, I needed the next session to be with the Mass Effect people, and I thought it would be really awkward if you were still oh my curse while you're
Right.
also dealing with where the F are we? So I wanted to lift that burden off your shoulder before I
Sure.
placed this burden onto your shoulder. So
Yeah.
that's why I
So
did
can
that.
we talk about the blue sorry in the room? Like
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can we? Oh yes. In the room. Yes.
the blue is sorry in the room.
Mm.
I'm really scared of our reactions to them right now, specifically right now, because we just did that,
Yeah.
depossession thing, the exorcism thing
Yeah.
to Hallie, and now we're gonna look up and see that standing there, and my first reaction to it is to attack, especially since it's right by Rosie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a
Right.
little girl
Yeah.
standing right next to what I will perceive as a demon. I'm going to try and kill it, and that's really worrying me because I don't want to fight the Mass Effect people. But there's a
David
little
fought him.
girl
David.
and a demon. Like,
Now, was the Asari like looming over Rosie, or did it look like Rosie and then we're like side by side, like, "Hey, little girl, follow me"?
he
Both
said
are
that
still
it's
creepy.
Rosie, and then behind her is
Oh,
Asari, and then there was an
okay.
orange flash.
Yeah, they were.
Okay,
It's
okay.
it's hard to tell the context of the way they were standing.
Yeah.
We'll find
So-
out in the next session, of course. But
Of course.
So I'm really worried about it, guys. Like I think first reactions are going to be to attack all things that aren't human, and
Of course.
which is
I know we've
Yeah.
been trying to get away from that, but right now I'm thinking we're gonna be like, I think the way Andrea is, she's gonna be like, shit, I'm in the Fade and there's demons. Ah!
That's exactly what Cedric's gonna be thinking. What kind of
gosh.
demons are these guys?
Blue demons!
I do.
if
Blue demons.
if we get to like a populated area, like, and we're in the Mass Effect world, I seriously just want like a random NPC to just be like the LARPing convention is that way or something.
Yeah.
Cosplayers, huh? Down the hall.
Yes.
Down the hall.
Auditorium 5 to your left.
There you go.
What? Okay.
One thing I want to address about the next episode, because I know that I addressed this before, but I know that not everybody appreciates these crossover sessions, and I understand completely, because there are, understandably so, there are people who are more purist, and they want to keep Mass Effect, keep Dragon Age, don't mix the two up because they don't belong together is their argument. And I understand that completely. My response is, like I said, my response is I totally get that. And I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's something that I think is a good opportunity, because we can do it here, because it's not canon, first of all, and we have, ignoring the fact that in the games, there's hints that says that the two universes are kind of
Yeah.
linked together, because you see Dragon Age stuff in the Mass Effect games and you see Mass Effect stuff in the Dragon Age games. If we even ignore that, I think that it brings up a really interesting, like, fantasy scenario, which not only like allows us to explore that interesting, well, what happens if you do mix the two together, like what would happen, but it also allows a legacy, the idea of a legacy, because you're going through each, if I'm continuing on with these campaigns and I'm having another one right after this, you see a continuation in the expanded card campaign universe, expanded Angel Hearts campaign universe, that and it gives you guys a little bit of more ownership for not only your campaign but campaigns moving forward, because you know that there is something that you do with these people affects what happens down the line. And I think there's a lot of appeal to that, at least as the players. I could be wrong, but I think there's a lot of appeal to that as the players. I understand that as a viewer, that might not always be appealing to you.
Right.
But, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I love the crossovers.
Yeah.
I love it so much. I love that we can stories, and I love how effortless. I mean, I know it's not effortlessly done on your part, but it feels like it is every time it was done. Especially when you did the Mass Effect to the Dragon Age one. The last time, I loved it so much, because you honestly, you think about, like, oh, I wonder what would happen if these characters met, and you get that opportunity to see them interact, and it's so cool. I love that. I love it so much.
And I'm sure it's fun for you guys to play with players who you've been with before, who have done this before, and vice versa for them. What I try to do, though, is that when I introduce elements from other universes into my campaigns, I try to not go overboard with it. Like, I don't, let me put a Mass Effect thing in here just for the sake of putting a Mass Effect thing in there.
Right.
If I were to bring it up, I at least either make it something that doesn't really is an afterthought. Like, for example, Gwenail, this is Ray, not me, but Ray brought up his Omnitool.
Yeah.
And it was a thing that happened, and then it was done. Like, it was an afterthought. It happened. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It didn't affect the story. And I tried to make the crossovers not really be a major component to the main storyline.
Right.
So if it's not your cup of tea, you could just skip over it and not really miss anything. Like, when the Mass Effect people went into Dragon Age, it didn't affect the main Mass Effect storyline. So if that's not something that you wanted, you can just skip that episode. So for the people who are watching, if this is not your cup of tea, you should be safe to just skip the next episode if it's going to bother you, and just move on to the next campaign, and we'll just start where we left off with the group.
Yep.
But what I do like is that, and I think it's going to happen with this group, is that just like with the NPCs, whenever your characters interact with other characters, you start seeing similar parallel experiences, and I think that's really cool to see how other characters, especially PCs from another campaign, can affect the current characters, and vice versa. So that I think is also a very positive thing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Because you guys just finished dealing with the resurrection stuff. Sync, if he's coming, Sync was dealing with resurrection stuff himself.
True.
Yep.
Theoben is dealing with this daughter of his that's super powerful. Sisepia, anyone? So just throwing it out there that there's a lot of potential in these storylines. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I like that.
One thing that I like about the crossovers is it's kind of like what Sam said. It's like you get to see how your players interact with the other characters, like from like a different universe, and I like that as well. But I also like how it's like a completely different setting as well. Like if we went into the Mass Effect universe and like we're on the Citadel, there would be like, oh, the LARPing conventions down that way, or the crowd, like they would interact with us differently than like when they came here, or So I just love seeing like characters in a different setting, because I do that when I read books all the time. Like, I wonder what would happen if they were in this location.
Yep.
Sure.
Oh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for next time.
I know.
I hope we don't get into too much of a combat with our friends from the other world.
Sorry in advance, or
sorry in advance.
Sorry.
I'm sorry in advance.
So you guys will be joined with 4 other characters, so that should be exciting. And
full house.
It'll be interesting because you'll get to. So I probably will spend the first hour with just the Mass Effect people, giving them a semi-origin story. Semi-origin story.
So you can see what they've been up to.
So we can see what they've been up to. So you're welcome to. You can come an hour late if you want, but you're welcome to just sit in. Just know that we're probably not going to use you for the first hour, but it's up to you.
Sure.
Because I know that the other characters are wondering what they've been up to, and I want to role play what they've been up to. So
that's exciting.
Yeah.
One more thing.
I can't wait to see what happened.
One last thing I wanted to bring up that's totally unrelated. Connor and Hugh's painting.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I loved that so much. That was so beautiful.
That was
We're
beautiful.
not finished with you.
We're not finished with you.
Hugh's not finished. Yes.
That's my favorite. Oh,
Connor can be insightful sometimes.
that was gorgeous.
That was a good line. It was a very good
That
line.
was great. Actually, we should talk about how Cedric used the Hue bomb. The Hue bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, that pissed Hallie off so much.
Yes, the Hue bomb.
Yeah, like
Wow.
To get out of the safe that we just kind of know the combination now too.
yeah, Kevin,
Yeah.
does Cedric not feel that he could have used that bomb at a more dire situation later? Does he feel that no, this is a good time for it after the fact?
After the fact, he's kind of like, well, I used it, I can't really go back on it, so might as well live with my decision. At the time, he was kind of perturbed that he had to use it in the first place, or that he felt like he had to use it.
To keep it.
Yeah, he wanted to keep it. I don't think he really wanted to use it. But
I'm sorry, buddy.
in terms of him just being like, well, you're about to find out what it does.
Yeah.
That was just kind of stemmed off of like that previous argument that they had, where it's just like, I don't
they
really.
just kept arguing. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. I have been. I've been playing Hallie a little worse off every single time. You may notice. She started cracking like a long time ago, but yeah, it's been I thought it would be good to step that up a bit, especially once Mavrath was starting to change pieces of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like everything was pissing her off today.
Had you not used the Hue Bomb and did anything that caused noise, like the pit, that whole scenario would have been completely different because it would have alerted probably Ari and Eric. It probably would have alerted a few other members of the Animagi, and it would have been totally different than with Kenna going off on her own by herself and confronting Eric on her own. That scene would have been completely different, I think. So that's pretty cool.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to do the pit. I was really hoping we could do anything but. It's just I knew that would work.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I don't want to do it. Like, it's going to be loud. It's going to be noise. Like, oh, no, it was a bad idea.
Well,
but
I was going to say, like, I was surprised that Cedric didn't want to save something like the Hue Bomb for, I don't know, breaking into the Archon's vault.
That's what I was really...
Right.
That's why he was kind of like, son of a, like, fine.
Yeah.
So, hopefully you won't regret that decision.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time so they can just melt the wall. That would have been super helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Next time.
We'll
Yes.
see.
Okay.
Yeah, we are dangling Theo's daughter in front of him.
yep.
Yeah.
Poor Theo.
He's gonna
be a hot mess
that
next
reunion. Yeah, I've been waiting to see that reunion for such a long time. I've been hoping that Rosie will come back into the picture.
Yep.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because we're in the cave. Like, we're in the mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. Poor Theo. He's going to be a hot mess. Like, you just filming it, Hark?
I'm reeling it in.
Yeah.
So. Anything else before we close?
Not for me, no.
I think we're good.
Awesome job, guys. Amazing costumes, pictures.
Yeah, great costume.
So hot.
So cool.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm burning up.
See, Kevin, you should have gone with the crowbar costume instead. Then you wouldn't have that problem.
You totally should have.
You should have had a box behind you. That would have been a really easy
Oh,
costume.
I should have put a box. That would have been funny.
Super easy to
Yeah,
get a box.
just started with a box just
An
for
open
fun.
box.
With Trallick
that was-
Thompson's name.
Yes.
Totally.
That was a line that made me laugh too. Well, you should have thought of that before you put me in a box. I was like, yeah, Eric.
Yeah.
Nobody put Cedric in a box.
Honestly, I think it would have gone a lot differently if they weren't her brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, if it was just two random people who were like, well, this is what we're trying to do, I would have been like,
Murdered.
all right, yeah.
Yep.
You're done.
And that would be where Cedric had his first kills. Just...
Like up close and personal.
You know, wouldn't have done that because that would have been too easy. Way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There had to be
I
that.
figured.